can you do with canvases you started but didn't finish? We all have them lurking somewhere. First give them a light rub with sandpaper if they're a bit lumpy, and then give them a coat of white acrylic paint, gesso or emulsion. Leave that to dry. We're going to experiment with different mediums this week. One of these might be polyfiller. There are different ways of doing this. You can mix the paint and the medium together with a palette knife, and you could apply it straight to the canvas. Especially when you're not thrilled with. Sorry about the filming here. You can do this with a palette knife or with an old brush. Don't use your best brushes. The medium will make the paint either thicker or glossier and give it some texture. Here I'm just scratching some onto my poppy field, just along the bottom edge there. This medium is one that will give you a glossy paste and make your paint sort of shiny. Yes, so just adding it onto the poppies there. Again, this could be done with a palette knife or an old brush. I'm just using the palette knife that I use to mix the colours together. You can see the shine on these petals when I hold it to the light. Here's another way to use the texture paste or polyfiller. You could put it straight onto the foreground of a painting. Here I'm putting in some rocks, but they'll need to dry before I can paint them. It's tempting to put them on the rocks out there, but it would just confuse perspective if you put it in the distance too. So just the foreground. You could use one of your reclaimed canvases and draw out some poppies. Or you could find a seascape or experiment by making a seascape and then adding texture in the foreground. Don't be afraid to experiment. Here I've tried an old face, and it's been great for doing the wrinkles and the lines around the eyes and the mouth. But don't expect to have clean hands at the end, you won't.